I have to say, it's difficult to find data. Because this is like a strange animal.
Could you give us a brief assessment of the Chinese economy at the moment? How do you view its situation?
Chinese economy is doing better than many people have perceived. First of all, the slowdown is inevitable. The previous growth rate is not sustainable. China must slow down. Otherwise, we are going to have a financial crisis. But by no means is it a recession. By no means is it a hard landing. The economy is still growing, I would say, about 5%. I understand there are suspicions towards official data. And the reality is China still generates a large trade surplus in the neighborhood of $50 billion a month. And the housing market is strong. You may say it's bubbly, but it's strong. If you look at Chinese tourist behavior, they go abroad to buy. That's telling you what? There is unmet demand in many areas. So that is the positive side of the Chinese economy. There is a negative side of Chinese economy. For certain sectors, they are just too big. They are not commercially viable, economically viable. They must shrink. Old economy is still making so on and so forth. So in a nutshell, the economy, I would describe that as two-track economy. Sectors being associated with consumers, new economy, they're very vibrant. And the sectors being associated with state-sanctioned investment in past, particularly 2008, 2009, they are struggling. So the trick is to generate enough growth in new economy at the same time to manage the continued consolidation of old economy. But the policy mix is conducive. I think China can do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, what are some of the trends that you're following then for the Chinese economy?
Well, I follow a lot of trends because in the end, this is a transition economy. Part of the economy is very open and part of the economy being tightly controlled by the government. So first of all, you need to understand what the government wants to do. I mean, policy making, policy responses in China, they are just much, much more important than policy responses in developed countries like the UK and Switzerland. So that's very important. Secondly, I think you want to understand what are the future drivers of the Chinese economy. I have to say, it's difficult to find data. Because this is like a strange animal, because certain things you just never seen before. And the stock market, for example, is a snapshot of old economy. Of course, it's doing poorly. And many good companies are now being listed on the stock market. So I think you have to understand potential growth driver. You also need to be behaving like you, a good journalist, a detective, and to try to gauge economic activities is not easy.
Yeah, it isn't easy. But what are then your projections for the remainder of 2016? What are you expecting to see?
I think 2016, the growth will undershoot the official target, because the official target, I think, is too high. I think we also have a forecast of mild depreciation of Chinese currency, because the currency is very strong, just like Swiss franc. I think it's too strong. So that's hurting China's competitiveness. But this is not competitive devaluation. China runs a large trade surplus. A lot of countries are very sensitive to China's powerful export machine. And I'm sure you have heard about this decision in European Union on market status. So China must be sensitive. But see, this economy is also undergoing a very profound deregulation, interest rate. So imagine interest rate now, they move up and down like a yo-yo, no longer being controlled by central bank. That's telling you what? That's basically telling you you cannot lower interest rate, because interest rate are actually slowly moving up, not because the strength of economy, but because the deregulation. So I think you need to maybe use exchange rate as additional lever to boost the growth. But overall, I'm reasonably sanguine about the growth prospect. That's why I said it's actually doing better than a lot of people have perceived.
Our thanks to Sitao Xu, Chief Economist at Deloitte. That's all from St. Petersburg, but check back for Dukascopy TV for more exclusive interviews.